amongst other startups within the particular area. But I say, why take my word for it? Let's all take a minute and just like scan that QR code so that you can maybe start on our very low code platform, start designing your own dream home and sort of go through the process. I'll just give you a minute for that. It's been disabled. Okay, we'll work with the team here to email you all of that. Or ubuntudesigngroup.com. Actually, if you just go to their website, let's fix this now. ubuntudesigngroup.com. I'm going to deal with my team on this one. ubuntudesigngroup.com. As you look at that, we want to also show you some of the experience of what this could potentially look like for you all. Please put that video on. Is there a video on? So, yeah, so ubuntudesigngroup.com, I think there's a video that should be coming up on screen just to show you how some of the functionality works. I think it's important for us to understand that we shape our buildings, thereafter they shape us. Right? As Ubuntu Design Group, we want to listen to build, we want to build to enable, we want to enable Ubuntu. We want you to be able to bring back the joy in the designing and building of your own home. So whether you're trying to live within an estate, we're going to have Ubuntu estates, one in Durban, one in Joburg, one in Cape Town, in different cities, or you have your own land and you want to build your own home. You can come to us and we'll help you build that. So we work with developers, we partner with developers where we can sort of be the implementation agents for them in helping them get that process designed and built. But also we work with real estate folks who have clients who want to build their own home but don't want the stress of building a home. So we're a one-stop shop. So think of us as an Uber for building homes, where within the Uber you don't have to think about changing the tires, the driver. You just go from point A to point B, and that's really what we do. I'm not sure if my slides are going to come back. But as they figure that out, did everyone get the website? Amazing. Yeah, so we're currently working on a development just 10 kilometers from Palito, taking up some of the units within Palmview Estate. So yeah, at the end of this program, if you want to talk to me, whether it's investors, whether it's developers, whether it's real estate people, we're open for business. We'd love to work with you, and we'd love to use our technology to also reimagine what some of these dilapidated buildings in the city look like so that we can create inclusive work. And as I started the conversation by saying, the minimum requirement for someone to have a dream is a dignified place to call home. And that's really what we're trying to do, create spaces where people can dream and reimagine what this city looks like, the same way I had the privilege to do that when I went into that mayor's office. And I think as Churchill best put it, we shape our buildings, thereafter they shape us. So let's shape better buildings. This is a community that we designed for Umbumbulu within that node. And I think it's important for us to design spaces that are contextual. Where when you go to it, you realize that you're in KwaZulu-Natal, not in Paris. Don't judge me about my family home. But this is a master plan that we did for Umbumbulu, helping build communities that are inclusive, peri-urban, and helping everyone has access, democratizing the access to dignified housing. Thank you very much.
Tiani, thank you very much for that presentation. If that's what the future of architecture looks like, it's very bright, I must say. Thank you very much for that. Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now to share some insights on the development of Club Med SA and property investment opportunities in KwaZulu-Natal, I'd like to call upon Chris Dutoy, who is the project lead for Club Med SA.
Mr. Program Director, Honourable Premier of the Province of KZN, Mr. Ntuli, Minister McPherson, Deputy Minister Zikalala, MEC Mayor, all MECs present, Mayor of eThekwini, and all dignitaries present. Ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Build KZN better. We're trying. There's a saying that, you know, the best city in South Africa has got a mountain. We've got plenty of mountains here, and we also have wine. You just have to buy it at Tops. But yeah, the vision of this project started approximately 10 years ago when Club Med first came to South Africa to look for a site. They were very specific in terms of what they require: access through an international airport, warm seawater, a moderate climate, and a good experience for their guests. I got involved in this project in 2018 when Club Med selected this site just north of Tinley Manor on the north coast of KZN, and the planning started. To Terry's point earlier today, unfortunately COVID came and went, which to an extent sort of had an impact on all development in the province, I guess, but yeah, we had to get going after COVID, and we've had our challenges, but we've managed to get through them. Club Med is the global leader in all-inclusive family holidays. They operate 70 resorts around the world, mixed and beach and ski resorts, of course, and this is their first resort in South Africa, the first resort on mainland sub-Saharan Africa, to go with 8 other resorts around the Indian Ocean and Northern Africa, of course. They're a world-class operator. Create guest experiences, and yeah, they were very confident and impressed by what they saw in South Africa and approached us to do the development on their behalf, and they will operate this resort once we open in June 2026. Started in 1950, and as I said, they operate 70 resorts around the world. Some of these destinations in Africa, they've got 2 in Mauritius, they operate 2 in Morocco, there's 1 in Senegal, the Seychelles, 2 in Tunisia, and South Africa to follow. We've got, I think the big thing for me about this project is there's very strong collaboration between all parties involved, not just from a professional and construction point of view, but also from our esteemed investment partners, as well as the private and public sector. So it's in excess of a 2 billion rand project. We've got a funding consortium between African Bank, the IDC, a Women's Investments Group, and ABSA. And yeah, we're all dedicated to enhancing the tourism landscape in Southern Africa. And this is one of the largest hospitality projects, I guess, ever achieved in this country. The resort, as I mentioned, is on the north coast of KZN. It is a combination between a beach resort and a bush experience. So we're also constructing a big game lodge up in northern Zululand. It will be a surf lifestyle concept, obviously shaped by local arts and culture with a safari experience. It's quite a unique product for Club Med. They don't have any other resorts around the world where they can offer guests a stay on the beach, but then also a stay in the bush to see some Big Five game. Just in terms of the site development plan, of course, KZN, as the other property developers in the room will know, nothing's flat here, so we've had to be quite creative. We've got a northern and a southern hill on the site, 345 rooms, 66 villas, extensive facilities, a village area. There's a convention center that can seat 500 people, and a staff village for accommodating approximately 210 staff. Our total staff contingent here will be 550 permanent staff in the beach resort, probably another 120 in the bush resort. So the journey started in September 23. We broke ground in March 2024. Construction period's approximately 28 months up to June 26, and we'll welcome the first international guest to South Africa at that time, July 2026. A big thing for Club Med is access, as I mentioned. They prefer guests to have a direct flight from Europe. Approximately 60% of their guests are still European-based. So fortunately, we've got King Shaka Airport up north and adequate capacity to accommodate guests flying in from all over the world. I think it's going to be a unique experience for all of us to experience this. I mean, South Africa do attract a lot of tourists every year all over the country, but to see 1,000 people arriving in Durban every week is going to be quite an experience. Just some more statistics for you. Investment of 2 billion, creating direct jobs of approximately 800, indirect jobs 1,500. Construction jobs, we're already up to more than 1,000 people on site at the moment. 65% of those on site come from the 3 local wards and traditional council within a 10-kilometer radius from the site. So this has really got a very significant impact on the communities in the area. 486 keys, as I mentioned, convention center for 500 people. Construction progress to date, as I mentioned, we've been in construction for the last 10 months or so. We've topped out quite a few of our buildings already. There's 83 buildings in total on site. We've been very fortunate with weather. We've been very fortunate with collaboration between all the various stakeholders, local councils, even our workforce and communities in the areas. We've only had good experiences with everyone involved in this project. We're very fortunate, and I think it's a feather in the cap of anyone involved in this project and anyone living in KZN that we can achieve something like this. This is the main village area. To the engineers in the room, there's some very thin columns there. Apparently, they're supposed to be like that, but these have been designed in collaboration with some very clever people up country, and this village will be the heartbeat of the resort, where people will spend time in restaurants, the main swimming pool, bars, the spa, etc. every day. Club Med like to have all their guests seated in a single restaurant at the same time, so this main restaurant will seat up to 1,000 people. It's quite a big structure, and those of you that are living on flights tomorrow, you'll see this if you fly out north. It is quite an impressive project. Our hotel rooms, 345 hotel rooms spread across the southern and northern hill. 90% of the rooms in this project will have sea views, so that's also quite a unique selling point for Club Med. We've made fantastic progress on construction, some clever design from our architects team, and we've been very fortunate with progress to date. I guess, as I said at the start, I think the main thing for us is the collaboration. It's a very exciting project, putting KZN and the North Coast on the international tourism map, and obviously in conjunction with this, we've got the Bush Lodge up north, where people will really experience South Africa's very best in terms of a tourism offering. With that, I thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much for that. That is, of course, Mr. Chris du Toit, who is the project lead for Club Med SA. Thank you very much indeed for that. Okay, let's move now, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be talking asset optimization strategies, and that's a very important one, might I add. We've got Caesar Sibande, who's the National Department of Public Works and Infrastructure Head of Property Management and Trading Entity. A round of applause, please.
Program Director, Honorable Premier present in the House, my Honorable Minister, Deputy Minister, Honorable MSc, the DG HODs present, all protocol observed. Program Director, I think you bit of shaken me a little bit when you say this is the most important one. And I met some colleagues outside to do saying, we can't wait to ask you questions. So that's where we are. I think from where we are as Public Works, we've been through a journey where we have really come up with a new strategy to rebrand the entity, the department. In the main, as the MECF alluded earlier on, to really come up with strategies that present us as a brand of choice, which seeks to promote high values in terms of ethics, and then that seeks to turn around the perception that the Public Works is a beacon of corruption in the main. And hence, we as government, we present our strategy for the public to understand, which is our strategic intent, to understand what we stand for and what we are in terms of our vision, which is to provide direction and quality services that offers innovative and proactive socio-economic infrastructure delivery. We also have our mission as a department to serve as a trusted choice for innovative asset management and quality infrastructure delivery. Our strategic goals as a department, I think that is very much important because over the years, I think there's been a lack of understanding as to what does Public Works stand for. We stand to deliver world-class public infrastructure, provide access in a dignified manner to reduce cost, to ensure efficiency and sustainability. Our values stands for innovation, integrity, motivation, professionalism, and accountability. I think our minister has been overemphasizing accountability in most of our areas, and I think the 10 will soon be visible. Our purpose, of course, what we are here for, the main thrust, I've said to the team when I joined the department, I said, look, our core mandate, in terms as defined by the legislation, which is GIAMA, is the management of state immovable assets. And there's been a lot of talks in the public space as to the credibility of our asset register. I think the minister has been in the forefront in terms of turning around that we must have a credible immovable asset register. And that means that every pocket of land or property that we own, we should be able to identify it. And moreover, we wanted to provide world-class facilities in the sense that we provide construction of office space, we do facility management, we do real estate management, and real estate investment. And today we'll be speaking about the combination of these 4 areas. What we also strive for is to ensure that we align ourselves with the SDG goals, and we implement sustainable development goals. We stand for the implementation of the green building policy. We also have SIP projects 28. We also have the integrated renewable energy program that we also deliver as part of our mandate. There are, of course, legislative mandates that we need to undertake that seeks to ensure that, of course, we comply. One of those is the Constitution. We also have what is called the Government Immovable Asset Management Act, which is currently under review. And the other policy mandates that, of course, that we strive to achieve, of course, one of those that we are standing before you today is the asset disposal policy. It also speaks to property management strategy and others as well. The rationale why we do asset optimization, from Director, the main thrust here is to ring-fence and focus service delivery with responsive administrative and operational management. One, to optimize state property as a business, and secondly, to enhance service delivery, introduce new money into our fiscals, and bring service to the state, and ensure that there's direct accountability. And moreover, to attract and retain technical skills through competitive and market-related rates. What is state optimization strategy? The minister has been in the forefront in the public space to say, using public assets for public good. What does that stand for? Over the years, if you may recall that over the time of period, there's not been much government drive to ensure that the assets we see around which have been hijacked, occupied illegally, government has not been in the forefront to state what could be the better use of such properties. Until recently, where we are now saying between 2024 and 2030, the journey should be looking into utilization and leveraging on such assets or sweating such assets to ensure that there is sustainability and growth. And how does that will be defined? It will be defined by the amount of revenue that we generate and contribute to our fiscals. Our strategic goals, Prompt Director, of course, is to attract private sector investment, and we've got an ambitious goal of raising around 100 billion towards the gross capital formation for the next term of administration. And we have worked out, and we are busy working out as to, for example, there are 2 projects that will be listing soon, and each project is around an average cost of 1.5 billion rand. So if each project could equate to 3 billion, and that is a tip of the iceberg that government can put into the public space for public and private sector investment. We want to unlock value through the entity that we have in the department as an implementing agent of choice to introduce operational model that will ensure that the assets that we have is unlocked to create value that will contribute towards job creation and growing the economy. We've got assets that we'll be listing. We've listed few recently, and some of these assets that we want to ensure that they contribute towards the life cycle maintenance of our assets. They also ensure that there is long sustainability of our public sector facilities. And what he was saying, which is a new thing, people are used to government leases to the we've put forward, as approved by the minister and cabinet, that we will have portfolios of properties that will advertise for 20 and 25 years. We've got others that will advertise for long-term lease between 45 and 99 years lease. That's a huge development and a change of approach that government is putting forward. I think the minister will speak about the value of our asset portfolio, but in the main, we've got more than 30,000 land parcels, and we've got more than 80,000 facilities. We have more than 48,000 structures that we have in terms of our property portfolio, and we have around 35,000 residential structures. And more than that, we have around 7,000 land parcels that are standing alone, unutilized, and they are carrying holding costs to our fiscals. And they are adding pressure on the liquid finance that you have. And therefore, it's important that we looked into sweating those assets, making them available to the public to optimize. So the government deemed cost value at the moment is around 49 billion or so. And that is the land. And in terms of the buildings that we have, it's around 94 billion rand. And that is the cost that we have. And we are busy on a daily basis coming up with systems to ensure that we come up with a market-related value that will, in the future, we will be able to estimate the actual cost of our assets. What are the models that we're bringing forward, Prompt Director, is that we want to have a triple P as a model that we want to roll out. And what it does, it seeks to look into the following areas. The build, operate, and transfer. This is a new intervention where we said government does not have money to build new offices. If you go to places like Pietermaritzburg, you go to Bloemfontein, you go to Polokwane. Those are semi-metros, if I may say, and the availability of office space is very low, and there's a high demand. And for that reason, at the very same time, government has not been able to roll out new infrastructure massively, and we're highly dependent on private leases, which are now actually increasing in numbers and in the main, taking most of our resources that we could be using to maintain our assets. The build, operate, and transfer model then is saying the private sector will be invited, they will build our offices, and then they will operate them and transfer them. We're looking at a period between 20 and 25 years. And that is where we wanted to really tap into that particular venture. We're looking at the ROT, which is the refurbished operation transfer model. For example, if you go to Pretoria, we've got facilities or buildings that are vacant that we want to refurbish and operate transfer in the same model through the PPP model. We've got spaces for advertising. We've got spaces that we can turn to conference facilities. And we also have assets that we don't need as they will never form part of our core function, and those will be disposed, or they are in the process of being disposed. This is the model that we have in terms of our, let me go to that one. This is the model that we have in terms of our business. It looks into the following products. One, we've got precinct development, we've got mixed-use development to repurpose some of our building facilities. Could be social housing schemes, could be residential, could be student accommodation, could be retail, could be storage, warehousing facilities. We also have farms that we can also make available for renewable energy. We also have, if you look at on the far right, we've got also have other assets, group of assets. We've got small harbors, we've got freehold leases land, we've got agricultural assets. We even have islands, from director, that the public never knew about. And of course, we are looking at optimizing such. We've got a number of portfolios in the residential space, commercial properties, and industrial properties. That is where we want to leverage. That is where we believe we can create value. And we also have this model that we've developed as our revenue management solution. It's looking at, we've got a steering committee that comprises of different municipalities, and that we work with provincial government. We've got the Transitional Advisory Service that we have working with ESA, and we are currently towards establishing asset management services. And also we are looking at this, where we are right now. The minister has been in the program to really conclude MOUs with major cities, and those MOUs look at the public access for the use of public access for public goods. That is what the mayor alluded to earlier this morning. We are also leveraging on the fixed state assets, identifying strategic assets for collaboration with other spheres of government. We're also looking into municipal private-owned land that we can come in and work together with municipalities to build our facilities. And that has led us to the minister, the MEC and the mayor of eThekwini signing the historical memorandum that we have all witnessed, and it has led to where we have recently listed more than 24 assets, and soon we'll be going on the phase 2, and we will also have different products of assets within our space for those with low entry and the high end. And those at the high end, I know there's been a complaint to say, Sibande, why are you bringing a minimum threshold of 300 million? That's a high end. We can't negotiate otherwise. We're in business. And the other thing is that for low entry, of course, that is where we want to bring about inclusivity and ensure that they will lower the barrier entry of participants into the property space. Thank you, Prom Director. You told me I've got 10 minutes, but I took those down there.
Discipline. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Sure.
You left your pouch. Sure. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Sibande. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now break for lunch, and we'll be back here in about 45 minutes to continue and gallop straight to the end of the day's proceedings. Thank you. Enjoy lunch.